So yeah, in UFC, Renee Mercado, he beat his opponent, Chris Duncan, by rear naked choke in the second round in Saturday night's UFC main event. That whole card was trash, if you ask me. It seems like the UFC, I know, and I hear a lot of people talking about it that they've really kind of lost a step. You know what I mean? And what they're doing, it's like they kind of lost something. Going the things that people have been saying is like since they don't have pay per view anymore and everything's free on Paramount, it's like they're not putting a lot of money into it. They're doing a lot of AI with fighters instead of actually paying the fighters to come do the commercials or whatever. They're using AI. And everybody knows how Dana White is. He's like, so what? Watch the damn fights. Shut the fuck up. Watch the fights. I don't care. So he's always had that attitude. You gotta either love him or hate him. I mean, the guy is legit. He took that sport from nothing and he made it $1 billion company, $7 billion. That's the ticket for that thing. Imagine that. Like say you and your buddy, you get $1 million together, you buy a fighting promotion, and in a couple years later, it's worth $1 billion, not 1 billion, not 2 billion, but 7 billion. We couldn't spend $7 billion if we wanted to. But yeah, that's what it's worth. But right now, it's kind of on the downtrend. I hope it picks up. They had that White House card, which was kind of a disaster for him, if you ask me. That whole card and everything was kind of crazy. But I hope it picks up. Because everybody was saying at first, that oh my goodness, the White House card's going to be the best card ever and everybody's going to love it so much that they're going to have 7 or 8 championship fights and all this hype and hype, and oh my god, you can't wait to watch it. And then he comes out, and it's got a couple good fights on there, but Justin Gaethje and Taporia, if you want to make some money, I mean, I don't know what they're if you pick, I know Taporia is going to win that fight. I don't think Justin Gaethje's got a snowball chance in hell of winning it. But, there's always a puncher's chance, but I don't even think he's got that because anywhere that fight goes, Taporia's got him. So I think it's an easy knockout for Taporia. But if Gaethje wins, my hat will be off to him. That's going to be spectacular. And in the news, we heard Arman Sarukian, his wife's filing for a divorce. I wonder if that has anything to do with old Nina Drama. I know she had a boyfriend or whatever, a live-in boyfriend, and he was, living with her. But they've been seeing a lot doing things, and there's a lot of rumors. I'm not going to speculate. I have respect for both of them enough to stay the hell out of that one. So, the jet that went down, they had rescued the one. So I just read that they ended up rescuing the other person. So that's awesome. So both of those guys are recovered. But it's crazy that, a million, I don't know how many hundreds of $1 million that plane cost the U.S. taxpayers, but we ain't going to get that money back. And they're still steadily, catching all these fraudulent things. It is so bad in California that if you get on hospice in California, they will kill you. Even if you just, you need hospice for, just for a minute while you heal or something like that, and it ain't an end of life situation. I heard that hospice is actually they get more money if you die. So they've been killing motherfuckers. So really, you got to watch out for anybody trying to go on hospice. You know what I mean?